Today, May the 4th, 2025, Pluto will begin its retrograde journey where it will move through Aquarius until October the 13th of 2025. So this overview will be important for the next 5 months and beyond. There's some important information, some predictions that I think you really need to hear, and I'm also going to go in depth into why this is going to be a very transformational cycle for the entire planet. Hi, this is Sarah, your mystical BFF, and today we're taking a deep dive into the astrology around Pluto moving retrograde in Aquarius. This is my take on the energy and the astrology, and it is based on Western astrology, and I'm happy to share this information with you, and I do hope it is helpful. So let's dive in. First, retrograde cycles are a call to slow down and focus more on our inner world. You know, life has a tendency to be very busy, and we don't really spend a lot of time on reflecting. This is our chance, though, and this is how we grow as a person, as a spiritual being, is by reflecting on our experiences. So this makes it a great time to reflect and reassess areas of our life that are out of balance and need our attention. Pluto will highlight the normally unseen hidden truths. So we're talking about overlooked details. We're talking about things we don't want to look at. Our shadow side, the part of each of us we tend to hide or minimize as well, will be focused on during this time. So there will be more clarity around the areas that the planet governs when it moves retrograde. For instance, when Mercury, which is probably the one we talk about the most, goes retrograde, usually there's issues around conversations and communication. Guess what Mercury rules? It rules communication, technology, and travel. We see issues around travel, delays, lost baggage, flights canceled, those kind of things. We also see problems with tech. Those emails don't get sent or they go out into the ethers and never are seen again. When it is moving forward, everything flows smoother and we don't even think about it, you see? So with Pluto, this is going to be very different than Mercury. Pluto rules the underworld, transformation, and deep hidden beliefs about ourselves and about the world. This is about life. This is about death. This is what we think about things that we probably don't even talk about. And we may not even realize that we're carrying these beliefs, but yet they shape our decisions and therefore they shape our life. They're going to rise to the surface to be explored during this time. And I also want to note this is not all doom and gloom. There are going to be a lot of positive changes during this time, but transformation is never easy. So, okay, let's dive in. What can Aquarius and Sagittarius expect during this time? Hello, Aquarius. Today, Pluto retrogrades in your sign and shakes things up. Pluto will be retrograde from today, May the 4th, through October the 14th of 2025. What does this mean for you? Well, Pluto retrograding is the defining moment of you coming to terms with who you really are versus the person you show up as in the world. For so many years, you've conformed to other people's ideas of what you should wear, what music you should listen to, what you should say, what you should study, who you should marry, where you should work. And all of that was just you trying to please other people and fit in. Now it's time to tap into your core identity and live a more authentic life. In modern astrology, Pluto rules Scorpio, and that kind of makes sense. Scorpio is all about transformation, life, death, sex, and mysterious energies. And so we're going to see a big dose of that happening around you as well. Your unique attitude and outlook on life is needed now. It's not the time to hide your light, Aquarius. Step into your power and proudly, unapologetically move forward. We know that we're in global chaos right now, and things are just shifting and changing every day. And it doesn't really seem like it's shifting for the better. But don't get too caught up in that because, yeah, things are changing and it depends on who is actually delivering the message. This is the change that everybody wanted. It's just not a pretty time, but it won't last forever. And the future will be better than the past. So just keep your eye on that prize and do what you can to help your fellow beings. This won't always be easy for you to step forward in your authentic energy because your entire lifetime, people have told you you were too much, you were too loud, you were wearing the wrong clothes, you were making the wrong decisions because you didn't fit into that more earthbound, materialistic viewpoint. You knew that there were better things out there than being a wage slave and chained to a job that you hated for 40 years. And you made decisions based on that somewhat, but you also tried to be the perfect daughter or son, husband, wife, and do what people expected of you. And that really caused you a lot of anxiety and stress that was unnecessary. Now is the time to let go of that persona and be who you truly are. Will this be easy? If you try and hold on to the old ways of hiding yourself, then this transformation could be more of a challenge. But if you release the idea that you have to shape your life to please society, then we're going to see so many opportunities open up for you. And actually, I think this is going to be a good time for you. I know a lot of astrologers are just talking doom and gloom for Aquarius, but I don't think so. Because if you can step into your power of who you really are, you will be the light that a lot of people need. You will be the person that says, yes, this is not easy now, but we're headed towards something better. Follow me. And I think that's it too. You're going to step in a more leadership role. It's going to be an interesting 6 months, but you got this, Aquarius. May the 4th, Pluto retrogrades, and it will be in retrograde until October the 14th of this year, 2025. So this is a long cycle that's going to really highlight what's working and what's not working in your life. This will be a game changer. Pluto moves through your third house, known as the house of communication, and it shines a light on your day-to-day life, connections, and communication. This energy can transform the way you speak and connect with others, what you allow or what you allow people to say to you, and also how they speak to you. And it will present you with opportunities to really notice when people aren't doing what they say they're doing. So it's going to be a very impactful time. For you personally, old ideas, conversations, and personal convictions will come up to be examined and probably revamped or even released. Sag is tired and done playing, and you've gone over the conversations, you've gone over situations. And it doesn't really look like these people are trying to improve, but rather expecting you to do all that they want while giving you the bare minimum. And you're done. You're just done with it. Basically, this is the last chance you're giving them. And you want to see positive changes now, or else Sagittarius is going to pack up their toys and leave. And honestly, it's probably long overdue. And you're no longer content to turn a blind eye on how important people act in regard to your feelings. You're ready to have an honest adult talk about the future, and depending on what your business partner, your spouse, or your family member, whoever it is that you really need to talk to, says to you, this may be the time when you set up boundaries, you go no contact, or you end relationships. Lately, you've been feeling like you're constantly misunderstood or that your words are being twisted by others, and you're done. You're just really tired of all of this. You don't have time for it. You want to get on with life, and here it is, just a constant battle with this person. And like I say, you're just done. But you do have to be realistic. How much is your own behavior contributing to this situation? And don't shoot the messenger here, but you know as well as I do, when you reach that point, you don't care. So if they're going to yell at you or accuse you of things, well, might as well do it since you're going to get blamed for it, right? Own your own behavior. Yes, that doesn't excuse what they're doing, no, but probably your behavior isn't making the situation any better. Like I say, don't shoot the messenger, but do a realistic assessment. Are you helping the situation, or are you just kind of acting out in frustration? An attitude shift is needed in your interactions with the world around you. And start with an ego check and go from there. And I know you don't want to hear that, but really consider what you're saying to these people. If you know that you're following through, you are living up to what you're saying, and still these people are twisting your words, or they're ignoring boundaries, they're disrespecting you, and they're just making situations worse, then yeah, it may be time to have that heart-to-heart talk. Just be sure to think things through before you begin this conversation, as it's easy to lose your focus when you have so much to say. You may not really hear the other person. You may be kind of just waiting for your turn to talk. So make sure you don't give in to anger or rage either, because that's going to be tempting. You have a lot of emotions bottled up, and they could come out in this retrograde period. So just be aware of that. Be sure to listen when you do have these impactful conversations. Really see what can be salvaged before you make your next move. And being a fire sign, you need to make sure you don't make any hasty decisions. Although Sag has been contemplating the situation for, is it years now? Really, you've been unhappy with this person, you've been unhappy the way they treat you, and you don't really see a future moving forward. Because if it's going to be more of this, it's like, no thank you, I'm done. But, like I say, don't be hasty. There might be something that could be salvaged. You won't know until you put the effort in to find out. I think that it's going to be an impactful time. Yeah, things are going to look very different by the end of October for you. And I think they're going to get better. But part of this transformation is clearing out the old that doesn't work and either revamping it or letting it go. It's a lot, but you're ready. You're actually more than ready. You've been ready probably for 2 years now. This is the time to clear out those relationships that are broken and beyond repair. You've got this, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed this mini forecast. If you did, let me know in the comments section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. It means the world to me. Stay tuned for more videos. Reiki blessings.